Hello again, my friends, and you are my friends, and welcome to Talking Darts. That's right, more bonus content from the platform known as Talking Town. We do Talking F1, Talking Cricket, and now, of course, Talking Darts. And it's a jam-packed show that we've got for you this evening. Number of things happening in the darts world that we are going to look at and discuss. But as always, if you are watching us live, please do get involved. We love to hear your thoughts and your comments, whether that's in agreement with us or in a disagreement with us, whether we're talking about something that you wants us to, or whether you've actually hang on, guys, you've not yet mentioned this, that, or the other. Let's discuss that, because we're happy to take the show in any direction that, of course, you, the viewer, and the listener wants us to go in. You can listen to us as well as watch us on YouTube. If you're listening to us and you want to watch us, just search Home Dressing Room on YouTube or Talking Darts. If you're watching but would rather listen, then of course Talking Darts live on pretty much all podcast platforms. That out of the way, leave a 5-star review or a like, whichever platform you're watching on, and let's get cracking with some top darts action. And of course, to join me as always is the wonderful Big Fish, Tom James. Tom, how are you, my friend?
I'm good, thank you, mate. Yeah, how are you?
Good. I'm loving the dartboard over your right shoulder, left as we look very much on with the show. You know, it's how often do you use that dartboard?
Every day. Yeah, I use it to like break up work, and on my lunch break, I'll just have a quick throw, just try it out. Probably see on the other corner over there, there's about 4 sets of darts, and I've not picked the right one yet, so I'm still playing around.
Tell you what, from here, it's on the angle, but I reckon I could probably get a dartboard in there. You know,
Yeah,
I reckon
I'll fit anywhere.
It's been a long time since I threw an arrow, but it's been a week off. So, how have you spent the free Thursday night, as it were? What did you do this week instead of watching some top dart in action?
I was just like crying for darts, to be honest. It's a gap. Like I don't think there's been a break before, unless it's like I think it was snowed off a few years ago, so they couldn't do it because it was like unsafe to get into the arena or whatever. But yeah, it's just weird having a gap because it's usually all the way through February, right through till May, and you just get every Thursday. So I just spent it watching The Apprentice, I think, and that's not as fun, to be honest.
Okay, well, that's good. Otherwise, we would be here talking Apprentice, I guess, other than talking darts. They left us. Why is there a break? First of all, you said it's not normally for a new viewer like myself. Why have we got that break?
To be honest, I probably should have had a look at that. I have no idea why they did it. Yeah, I don't know. I know that they had a tournament abroad on the weekend, but I can't really see how that would have been affected by it. So yeah, just had a week off, and yeah, left everyone that I saw on Twitter just like waiting around, just like, oh, we need something now. So
we do.
Yeah, it's an odd one.
We do. Good evening, Ben. Hope you're well. Welcome in, Mr. Ben Moore. If you are watching, don't be a stranger. I know I scheduled the show very last minute. That's on me. It's been busy at the TT Towers today. In fact, every day this week. Poorly 2-year-old Tom. That's all I need to say. It's not been a place where you'd want to sleep, that's for sure, where you couldn't get any. And I've been missing the darts because they left us really after a great week, because it's been I'm going to be honest, it's been a slow burner, my foray back or into darts, but they really left us with a great week. It was obviously week 3 in Belfast, and the game that really got me, and I want to talk about it, was Gerwyn Price, Michael van Gerwen. Was it three triple dart? What was the in the end? What was the record in that match?
Well, he got his 9 darter in that game, didn't he?
That's the one, the 9 darter. Yes,
he got his first 9 darter of 2 on the night. So he got 1 in the semis against Van Gogh, and then he got 1 in the final against Wade. And for any darts fan out there, they'll know that Wade is kind of the serial victim of 9 darters. Like I think he's had more 9 darters against him than any other player. Yeah. So the final of the Premier League years ago, it was Phil Taylor and James Wade, and Phil Taylor hit 2 in the same game against him. So that was just like crushing. It's when it happens once, you're like, well, fair play, but to happen again.
Yeah.
And then just every so often, Wade will play someone and another 9-darter will go in and the roof gets raised off, but James Wade gets a little bit sadder for everyone that goes in.
Poor James Wade. And one of the 9-darters obviously came against Van Gerwen. And he did it while he was being booed.
Yeah, he's always getting booed. He's going prices.
Because obviously he dropped the dart, didn't he?
Yeah, which is even more impressive. He's so out of his rhythm, and just the way around he went it. Because like most people would probably just hit the 2 180s and go kind of 1-4, 1 that other way round. But he hit the treble 19 earlier on in the leg, which was a good way to do it because it left him with a clear shot of 2 treble 20s at the end. So yeah, it was very impressive, and I think it's just like Ben said in the chat. It's just good to see him back to where he should be, and yeah, probably where he is at the minute. Because I think with the Premier League, has got better every week so far. So has Gerwyn Price, and he's really picked it up. And yeah, last 2 weeks ago now, wasn't it? He was incredible, and to hit 2 9-darters in the same night is pretty much unheard of. So yeah.
Do you think if there's 2 darts players in the world that didn't want that break? And obviously they've probably been playing in other competitions, but particularly because of the momentum they've built up for themselves was Gerwyn Price and Michael Van Gerwen. Because, for all the good things that Gerwyn Price did in week 4, and it was a tremendous week from him, from my perspective, Van Gerwen, who came into the Premier League unfancied, if you can ever unfancy Van Gerwen, and really week 4 ripped it up and pushed Gerwyn Price every step of the way, made him work extremely hard for that semi-final win.
Yeah, and Van Gerwen's getting better as well, which is really good for everyone watching it. And I think he lost with 105 average, which is harsh, really. It's unfortunate to lose with that. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to this coming week because the fixtures are all pretty much worthy of a final. This kind of the quarterfinal, how it's fell this week, looks really, really good. So I can't wait to see how it goes.
No, and obviously we'll cover week 4 Premier League probably towards the back end of the show. There's other tournaments going on. Let's first start with the UK Open, ITV4, Friday lunchtime through to Sunday evening. The FA Cup of Darts. Players from Riley's qualifiers make it in. Anybody, and we do mean anybody. Are you in it, Tom?
I'm not in it. I tried.
Not quite anybody then.
I tried a few years ago. I went to the Nottingham.
Did you really?
Yeah, I went to the Nottingham qualifier. I made it through 4 rounds. I think I won 4-1 every game. And I don't know how it happened because I wasn't my best, to be honest. But yeah, did all right. Some of the official scorers you see on the telly were there kind of officiating it and making sure it all ran smoothly. But yeah, so the UK Open is just an opportunity for wherever there are Rileys in the country. There used to be loads and now they've shut loads of them down. There used to be one in Ipswich next to
not anymore.
the road.
Opposite the drum, yeah.
Yeah, it's not there. There used to be one in Peterborough where I grew up, and that's gone as well. I used to go there loads of Saturdays and just play pool and darts. And
what's happened to Riley's? Was it a Riley's decision? Was it? I mean, because obviously you say this, we won everywhere. Now I couldn't even tell you where my local Riley's is.
No, there's still one in Nottingham, but they guess they had to cut costs along the way.
It's a bit of a trek for me to play a bit of darts, that Tom. I'd be better off hiring my own venue.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. Yeah. Obviously, that whole area was redeveloped in Ipswich, and maybe that has something to do with it. Looking at the prize money, 450,000 prize pot, 100,000 for the winner. Now, there's been 2 ever presents in the UK Open, okay, and they're going to be attending for the 20th time this weekend. Can you tell me the 2 players?
It's Wade and Beaton.
There, he knows it. He knows it. Yes, James Wade, a player I'm familiar with. Steve Beaton, a player I'm not. So tell me a little bit about. I'm going to call him the Beatonator.
Oh, he's got a better nickname than that. He's called the Bronzed Adonis.
The Bronze Adonis. Right,
yeah.
I'm going to Google it. Bronze Adonis.
Just look at him. He's the smoothest player you'll ever see. Open shirt, grey hair. He's just silky smooth. And yeah, he's been around the block for ages and ages. And he's still a class act. It's just kind of like the whole Taylor thing. It's like everyone's gotten better along. So he's kind of fell a bit by the wayside, but he always competes in any tournament he's in, and it's always great to see him. I think he's such a fan's favourite as well.
Steve Beaton he's from Norwich, is he?
Is he from Norwich? I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either. I'm going to go on the old Wikipedia now. I'm going to try and find that out. But he used to former world number 1. There you go. So, but obviously 57. So yeah, as you've said, bit like Taylor. As I suppose I'm looking at the, I don't know, David Beckham of the darts world once upon a time, would you say? Whereas the new viewer to Premier League football perhaps would say David who?
Perhaps, yeah.
Perhaps,
but they know Beckham for all sorts now, don't they? He's everywhere.
Well, that's true, yes. But as far as I'm aware, Steve Beaton's never advertised underwear.
Well, not that we know.
Not that we know of. But Steve Beaton and James Wade, 2 of the ever-presents, are either going to win it?
It'd be unlikely, to be honest. Wade has always got a good shout in a tournament, and he's won the tournament before. So he has a good shout as anyone else because he's James Wade, and everyone knows that James Wade sticks in there regardless of how he's playing. He could be playing well below his standard, but he can drag people down to that standard as well. So yeah, he's always got a chance, but the favourites are probably the names you're familiar with from doing this pod for the last 3 or 4 weeks or so. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be Price, Wright, Clayton, Smith, MVG, Cullen, the big names. They're all the favourites for the bookies, and you got to think they're going to be around there at some point. But that's the thing with the UK Open. It's FA Cup of Darts, as we touched on. All sorts of things can happen, like upsets can happen. And yeah, that's why it's so exciting. It's 3 whole days of really good stuff.
Yeah, it sounds great. It's on ITV, so it's ITV4 rather, so it's on free-to-air TV, which is great for the sport of darts, but great for the viewer as well, because obviously it's that free sport, and there's so little of it these days that it naturally, in my opinion, attracts eyeballs. That sounds really like something I'm actually going to get stuck into, I think. North Walsham, Steve Beaton. I've just looked on Wikipedia, which obviously is in Norfolk. Been there many a time. I love a bit of Walsham crunch. You've never had it? I recommend it. My mother-in-law makes a mean Walsham crunch. Do you know what? The more I look at Steve Beaton, right, his walk-on music, Staying Alive by the Bit. I mean, this geezer's right up my street. Great walk-on music, great nickname. If you can throw a decent dart this weekend, I'll be supporting him.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. James Wade, talk to me about him, because we were surprised last week when he made the final, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he's world number 4. We shouldn't be as surprised as perhaps we were. Nobody rated him coming into it. Obviously, yourself and it was Chris, I believe, were previewing it. Nobody gave James Wade this opportunity. Well, not much. To say they didn't give him a chance is wrong, but they didn't. No one had him as their finalist. But he's world number 4. Is he often overlooked?
Oh, he's always overlooked.
Why? What about a world number 4 can often get you overlooked?
Because he goes through peaks and troughs sometimes, but his record in the PDC speaks for itself. He's the 3rd most successful player behind Taylor and Van Gerwen in terms of titles won. So he's a serial winner in his career. He's not a world champion, but he's a winner, and he knows how to get the results, which can be unfashionable at times, and he grinds results out.
He's the Mick McCarthy of the darts world.
Mick McCarthy of the darts, yes, or the Tony Pulis, however you like to say it.
Yeah.
But no, he's a brilliant player, and he does get a lot of stick, and he gets overlooked because he's probably not like a flair player. He's a bit more introverted, which is absolutely fine.
No such thing as a bad triple 20.
Okay. Wade's got a shout in every tournament. He's probably just not your go-to. He's going to win it. He just probably is. Again, that's me just kind of overlooking him in that way. But it's just
you weren't alone.
I never doubt he can win it. I just always think it's going to be a form player, and Wade, like I said, goes in peaks and troughs. So you never think, oh, he's on a good run. Now he's going to win it. So yeah, as long as he's in with the fight, he's always got a shout.
So what is this? This is our week 5 show, and it was only when I was watching the final, and I think one of the commentators said James Wade world number 4, and I was like, what? Hold up, this is the world number, because I was thinking this is some no disrespect, rank outsider that's just turned up, not really got much of a chance. There, for whatever reason, they're there. I'm still new to the sport, still learning the entry process, etc., etc. But hang on, he's not just some nobody. He's a world number 4, and we're giving him like short thrift. Do you know what I mean? Like, so I was surprised to hear that. Speaking of the world rankings, there was a world number 1 battle going on over the weekend in the international scene. Before I jump to that, winner of the UK, who is going to take the crown this weekend for you?
Can't really see past Going Price at the minute.
He's on fire, isn't he?
Yeah, I think he's playing too well. And yeah, I'd love it to be an outsider nobody had thought of, but I think Price is going to do it again. But yeah, we'll get a little preview tomorrow night and see what form the big boys are on.
Yeah. Could we see us? How does it work in terms of knockouts, etc.? Because could we see us, Steve? The bronze Adonis versus Price. How does it work?
So how it works is Friday afternoon are rounds 1, 2, and 3, and they're spread across 8 boards. So it's a huge space that they've got, and they're all playing on smaller boards. And then there's a massive televised board, which is what we're all going to watch. Mm-hmm. And there's a secondary board which kind of streams online as well, so you can watch bits and pieces if you want to. But they'll get 3 rounds out of the way in the space of 4 or 5 hours, so it's quite intense. And then from Friday evening onwards, it will just be kind of more standard formats we're used to. So it'll kind of be a batch of about 8 games or so, and we'll watch the rounds progress through the tournament. So yeah, that's how it's going to work. Quite intense.
So we could do.
And then we'll kind of get a kind of clearer indication of who's going to play who after the qualifiers get through those first rounds. So it would have been drawn probably where we can see kind of where Beaton is going to be playing someone next, or anyone else is going to be playing these qualifiers. But yeah, they're kind of split out into the top 32 get passes into the later rounds, like an FA Cup in football, and then I think 32 to 64 come in an earlier stage as well. So I think Beaton would be in that bracket. So he'll be playing probably not in the first round, but in an earlier round. And yeah, we'll see him. But yeah, hopefully he gets a good draw.
Yes, I would like to see that. We've got Ben Moore. I'd love for Ryan Mikel to go. To go far, fellow Town fan. Price on his day, but maybe Searle. Okay. We mentioned the world rankings there at the weekend. There was the International Darts Open. It took place in Germany. Price versus Wright in the final. Straight shootout for the world number 1. And you said about Price playing for, just phenomenal darts at the moment, Tom. And he did it again at the weekend. He beat Wright, held on to his crown. Both averaged over 106. But Wright did say at the end, I'm coming for you. So, great weekend. And Price just on fire. What can you say?
Yeah, just really good again. Wright was brilliant as well. It's just it came to 2 greats at the minute in the final, and yeah, Price just shut him out. It's basically if Wright had won that, he'd have gone world number 1 for the first time. So it's on his bucket list to get that spot, and he still definitely could do it in the not too distant future. It's just when it comes down to one game, maybe it was just a bit too much pressure at the time for him. But yeah, Price very headstrong at the minute, and yeah, I think that's why I've got him as the UK Open winner, because he's kind of battled off probably the next best player in the world at the minute.
Yeah, both players playing so well, but Price over the last couple of weeks has just hit that run of form in every sport. Once you hit that purple patch, there's very little anybody can do, and we saw that in the Premier League week 4. Dropping a dart, you would think that would take him out of the stride. Crowd then on his back, you'd have been forgiven for not taking the opportunity. But I don't even think he rose at that point of the match. There was a crowd behind him, let alone he dropped the dart. He was that in the zone, and he's getting himself regularly there now, isn't he, as a darts player?
Yeah, he got himself over the initial disappointment of week 1 in Cardiff, which is his homeland in Wales. So he would have wanted to put on a really good show. He just fell short of the quarterfinals in the first stage. So would have been really disappointing. Didn't look himself, and he's just got better and better to where he was a month ago. So everyone knows what he can do. He's a world champion for a reason, and he's world number one because he's the best player. So yeah, I can't see many people getting past him.
No, that is the thing, isn't it? Just looking at the PDC order of merit: Gerwyn Price number 1, Wright number 2, Van Gerwen number 3. Didn't know Van Gerwen was number 3. That's a surprise for myself. We've got Wade at number 4, 5 at Smith. Jose, why aren't the top 10 there in the Premier League? Why are players such as, and I'm probably going to not do the pronunciation correctly, but Jose de Souza, why are, or Dimitri van den Berg, why for example are they not involved in the Premier League?
So the Premier League's always picked on the basis that the top 4 gets in automatically. And then it's kind of the sponsors and the broadcasters' picks. So you would typically probably go for players that might entertain you more. And I think that's where some people might say, oh, Wade might struggle to get a pick if he wasn't world number 4 because he got in by default. And generally how the Premier League also gets picked is what tournaments you've won in the year previous as well. So Cullen got in because he won the tournament before the Premier League started, the Masters.
Yeah. Yes, that's right.
A lot of people were saying that Rob Cross should have got in because he won last year as well in Europe. So it's basically pick and mix. It's like it's who the people who decide everything want in. And yeah, Jose, he played it last time, and yeah, I think he did okay, and Kaver could have counted himself. Yeah, it just really comes down to who they want at the end of the day. And if you see some of the legends get higher up the rankings or more exciting players come through, then yeah, they'll be about next year.
Okay. I'm just looking at, this is the website I'm going to be on for hours, I think, because every time you click into a play, it gives you, so sort of Ryan Searle, heavy metal, walk-on music, Breathe by the Prodigy. Literally just brilliant. Nicknames, walk-on music. It's brilliant. Love that.
Next few years, Searle will be in the Premier League.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I like Jose de Souza already. The special one with his walk-on being I Know You Want Me by Pitbull. Epic. Virtual darts. Before we go on to the Premier League this week, I saw a couple of things on Twitter. How does that work? Because from my perspective, they look like they were in their own front room.
Who's that? The professionals, or
yeah? So you had I think it looked like you had Taylor throwing darts. A couple of other players. Is there a virtual darts sort of tournament? Is that a thing, or have I taken 2 and 2? Because I'm still new to sports. So if I see a tweet about darts, I look into it. I don't really understand that, so I move on. But it looked like they were throwing darts in their own living room.
I know during lockdown that was definitely the case. I know people like Paddy Power were putting on some shows. And
okay.
So like Phil Taylor was playing Barney, he was playing Sherrock, and they were playing from their living rooms. And basically,
that's the clip I saw, I think. Yes.
Manufacturers sent all the kit to their houses, and they just set it up, and then they could play and televise it on YouTube. So that was really good.
Right.
That was, for me, that was great watching that during lockdown because I needed darts and I needed stuff to watch. So.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they're doing it really competitively at the minute, in terms of playing at home. But yeah, I'll have to have a look into that. But yeah,
I think it was that clip, the last match you mentioned. I think that's the clip I saw. So it was probably an older one, just resurfaced. But is that something they're going to look into again? Do you think that because did it work from a viewer experience point of view?
I think it did its job for the time, but I'm not sure if it will come back because everything's open again, and we've got obviously the Masters, like the seniors, I should say. We've got that going on. We've got loads more different tournaments. We've got a women's match play in the summer as well. So there's loads of different tournaments coming up and about, and it's probably not a need for playing at home at the minute. And you'll get a better quality game when they're playing face to face, I think.
Okay, fair enough.
But it's a really good feature for novices like myself to be playing against people on the other side of this screen. So I did that during lockdown, and that was a really good feature. Is there's loads of tools online you can use to play against your mates at home, so it connects people a bit more as well.
Very nice. All right, perfect. Right, Premier League. Here we go. Week number 5. No, week 4 or week 5? Remind me.
This will be week 4. It would be 5 had we not had a break.
Yes, correct. Yes, week 4. So you've got Johnny Clayton versus Michael Van Gerwen, Michael Smith versus Joe Cullen, Gerwyn Price versus Peter Wright, the rematch from the weekend, James Wade versus Gary Anderson. Let us know in the chat or the comments if you're watching this back even in the review section if you're listening on the podcast platforms, who you fancy taking these matches. But do you want to go first with the Clayton Van Gerwen one, Tom? How do you see that one going?
Yeah, I think just touching back on what I said earlier, just what a lineup that is for the quarterfinal stage. It's
incredible.
So good. Yeah, Clayton Van Gerwen. Hard to pick. I'm probably going to go for Michael, though. I probably would have picked Clayton a few weeks ago, but I think MVG's coming back into a bit of form, and I think he gets through on this one, probably averaging over 100 again comfortably.
I don't know. Yeah, I want Van Gerwen. I said to you after week 3, I think he's one of my favourites at the moment. So yeah, I'd like Van Gerwen to take that one. Smith versus Cullen to round off that side of the draw.
Tricky one to call, I think, as Smith's got off to quite a poor start in the Premier League, and Cullen's done all right. He's acquitted himself pretty well. He's got to a final already in the Premier League. So I'll probably say, with my head, I'll say Cullen, but never write off Smith. If he can get into his form, then he'll be all right. But Cullen pips it, I think. Yeah,
world number 5, Michael Smith. So, he's no pushover you would expect. But you're right, he's not really hit those strengths or that stride yet. So you're going to go for Cullen?
I'll go for Cullen, yeah.
So you've got a Van Gerwen Cullen semi?
Yes.
Okie dokie. Yeah. Who are you seeing taking that one?
I think Van Gerwen gets through that one. Yeah.
Ooh, okay, right. I will give you a competitor for the Van Gerwen. Gerwen Price, Peter Wright. Well, that's just going to be a sit down, have a beer, and watch some tremendous darts in action, Jobby. I'm going to go for Peter Wright, just because Gerwen Price beat him at the weekend. Gerwen Price has been in phenomenal form, but Peter Wright is Peter Wright. He is still a phenomenal darts player in his own right. And after the weekend where he said, I'm coming for you, etc., obviously in a jovial manner, why not this weekend? Well, or this week? Why not make it instant and throw a spanner in the works? Because many people, I'd expect yourself included, would have gone for Gerwen Price there.
Yeah, and I still am. So we've got different semi-final at this bottom coming up.
Mm-hmm. So I'll write in brackets your ones. You got Price going through, which is absolutely fine. I wouldn't be surprised if Gerwen Price does. James Wade, Gary Anderson.
Yeah, toughie.
Yeah, both under the radar considering their PDC ranking. James Wade, obviously a great week in week 3. I'm going to go for Wade.
Yeah, Wade would be a very good headstrong decision. Something says Anderson for me. I think he needs to click into gear, and he's not done it just yet. So I'm going to say this is his week, and he's going to get through the quarters when it comes to the semi.
This is it.
It'll be Gezi for me. He gets to the final.
You're going to go for a Van Price final.
Yeah,
with a who winning Price.
Well, who are you putting in the semi first of all?
Well, out of Wright and Wade. Probably Wright, to be fair.
Yeah.
But that's not, again, Wade had such a great week last week. It wouldn't surprise me to see. Yeah, I'd go Wright. So yeah, for me, it'd be Van Gerwen, Peter Wright final. For you, it's a Van Gerwen Price final.
Yeah. And I'm going to flip all my logic on the head and say Van Gerwen's going to win tomorrow night.
Really?
Yeah. I just find it difficult to see him not winning it in the first 4 weeks. And he's just like a serial performer in the Premier League over the years. And he usually finishes top of the league. Yeah. But yeah, in recent times, though, he's not been at those levels. But something feels right about him this week.
Well, I'd quickly take that back if I was yourself, because I'm also going to put Van Gerwen to win the competition this week. As you said, why not? And he had some great darts the week before in week 3. So you can bring that form into it.
Enough.
He is. And it's now getting to the point as we go on to week nights 4, nights 5, etc., where you're getting a couple of players now come into form, which obviously is only going to add to the excitement, isn't it? Because you've got Wade having a great week last week. If you can follow that up this week, that's another player. You've got Price, you've got obviously Wright, you've got Van Gerwen. 4, 5, 6 players now coming into the form. can only mean great things for the fans.
I hope so. Yeah, I'm still working out whether I like the format or love the format, and I'm just trying to give it some breathing space to see how it goes. It's good we're getting regular quarterfinal.
Oh, he's frozen. I'll just take him out until he waves at me again. I've got Ben Moore, Clayton Smith, Price and Wade with a Clayton and Price final. Ben Moore, Brett Clayton in the UK Open this week, a local lad to where I am in Surrey. Good luck to him. Tom's back. Sorry, Tom, we lost you. No, absolutely not a problem at all. Ben's gone for a Clayton Price final.
Clayton Price. Okay. Yeah.
Clayton.
I'd love to see Johnny in it. Yeah.
Clayton beating Van Gogh in the opener.
Yeah, he'd have to really kick off there. But again, like you were just saying about the quality of the players that we've got, Clayton can do it. Any of them can do it. It's just we've got to go with form sometimes.
Well, that would be Price who's
then. Van Gogh in the final and winning it.
Likewise, you have had Price going out on in the opening round. Right, there we go. Another one in the books. Done, dusted. Talking darts. Anything else before we depart, my friend?
How have you found it all? Just before we wrap up, how are you finding
darts?
And...
Thoroughly enjoyed the first couple of weeks. The first two, last night 3, superb. Loving it. Going to check out the UK Open. Enjoyed the seniors for the brief glimpses I saw. So yeah, tomorrow night I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully we get some humdingers, and also then UK Open continues off the back of that. But so far, a solid 6 out of 10, I reckon.
6 out of 10. Okay.
Before it would have been a 2 or a 3. Well, it would have been a 2 or a 3 before.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? So we're growing.
It's progress. That's good.
It is.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right. Well, we'll see what tomorrow night brings. And of course, we'll see you all again next week. But until then, here's the big fish. And this has been Talking Darts.